Good evening, y'all. I hope y'all are doing well. Um, so I am now on both the Instagram live and the YouTube live. Hey, Mama, how are you? So thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for your patience. So I'm trying to operate the background of the let's see, how do we do this? If I can't figure it out, I'm just going to leave it because I totally forgot about this from last week. So what's happening is the background is, you know how the blur, you know how you have a blurred out background, and that's not my intention. So if you look at it on the YouTube channel, on the Conscious Creations YouTube channel, it's actually like a blue background. Actually, that's kind of perfect for what we're talking about. But, I was hoping it'd be something a little bit more festive and creative, but whatever. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of the folks who are joining on the Conscious Creations Instagram live channel, as well as the Conscious Creations YouTube channel. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Let me actually turn the television. I unplugged it by mistake. So when it started back, right? So before we get started, I am going to take my beautiful singing bowl that is tuned to the third eye chakra, and I'm just going to clear the space so that all of the energy that comes forward, all of the information that comes forward is truly from clarity and guided steps, so that the information that you receive is from the highest vibration and you have the clarity that you need in this going forward. Ashe? So let me do that again. Okay, so this is not. I actually picked this up at a an outdoor festival several years ago. So I don't have this for sale on my website. I know I have a lot of things available on my website. This is not available, but what I do have available, I've been introducing you all to the various tuning forks that are available for each of the seven primary chakras. And so this one is the chakra for the tuning fork for the third eye chakra that we're going to be talking about today. And it comes with this little pouch, as you see here. And it has the mudra. Yes, is that right? The mudra for the symbol. Let's call it the symbol. So the symbol for the third eye chakra, and it is for intuition and knowledge. So for those of you who are on YouTube, you can see it here. Now, each one of the forks, like I said, is specifically tuned. Now, you likely will not be able to hear the tuning fork from the, through the computer and everything like that. But this is what it looks like. And so when you hit it with the mallet, and you feel the vibration flowing through your body. Because remember, all of this is about having your body in the proper harmonic resonance so that you are vibrating at at the level that you want. So, for whatever it is that you're doing. So whether most people want to vibrate, quote unquote, higher, right? And let's just talk about that for a minute, right? Because we hear these terms, but what do they actually mean? So when we talk about vibrating higher and vibrating lower, what we're really talking about is there are some energies that are very dense, right? So, for example, the energy of sadness, it makes you feel depressed, right? It makes your energy centers feel pressed down, right? Grief, though, those sorts of things, they make your energy feel depressed. Fear, anxiety, those sorts of things. So when we're talking about vibrating higher, what we're talking about is rising above those denser emotions. Now, they're all necessary, Exactly. They're heavy, right? And so those heavier emotions, we want to vibrate above those things because when you think about it, the earth herself, right? The earth is heavy, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a planet, right? So the earth is a land mass, right? And so it is heavy, it is dense. So we're talking about very like just low energy that can pull you down, right? Now, sometimes it is necessary to be in that vibration. So, for example, if you are an alchemist or a healer, right? If you're going down to the depths to help someone else because you're meeting them where they are, then it may be necessary for you to, to be in that frequency for a period of time. But even when you are in those denser or heavier or lower frequencies, maintaining a higher vibration is important because you are in the world, not of the world, right? And that's a prime example of that because you may be in that energy with someone else to help them out of the energy, but you can't help them out of it if you are in it, right? And so, what I mean by that is you come in with your higher vibration and you actually help to lift them out of that energy, right? So you are helping to raise the vibration of whatever space you are in. So this is a part of the healing journey that aren't isn't always talked about because there's healing, right? Helping others to really tap into their healing energy, but that is only available to you when you are able to heal yourself. And so as we go through all of these different layers and levels, that's really what it's about. Getting to the root. We started with the root chakra, but getting to the root of every single energy that is within you and learning how to bring that energy into balance by healing any of the traumas or blockages or you know what I mean, distortions, anything that had you in a lower vibration, right? In terms of each chakra level. So, for example, the third eye chakra, we're going to talk about that because the third eye deals with the brow. They also call it the what is the word? That's not ajna. So that's AJNA, right? So what we're talking about is the brow chakra, right? So generally speaking, folks place the third eye like right about here. But what we're talking about, yes, there is a third eye, but we're also talking about um this part of your brain, all of this these upper chakras, we're talking about aspects of your brain and the chemicals that flow through your body and all of these things, so bringing that all together. So here I'm going to read some of the things because I've been doing like research on this, right? So not just, so y'all got to excuse the noise, it's a lot going on in here. It's because Oreo has his Kong bone or Kong treat, and he is, yes, Pookies, yes, and he's throwing it around the room to get the little treats out of the little thing. So you may hear that because he's slamming on the ground so the treats can fall out. So I'm doing that to keep him busy so that I can have this conversation with y'all. um okay, so let's start here. 2025, right? You probably heard people talk about 2025 being a 9 year, right? So we're talking about adding up the 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 to get the number 9. And every single thing, everything carries its own frequency, its own vibration. So that means that the vibration of the number 9, the energetic frequency of the number 9 and of this year is that of completion, right? So when you think about the numbers generally go from, and I count 0, right? So from 0 to 9 or from 1 to 9, right? And then they start to double. So then you have 1 0, 1 1, 1 2. You see what I'm saying? But generally speaking, when we're looking at the base, the primary, what makes up the foundation of this numerical system are the numbers 0 or the numbers 1 through 9. Okay. So the 9 being the highest of those numbers, that means that we're talking about the end, so to speak. So some of the things that you may be seeing come up in terms of themes for the year is, things being finished, right? So from, sorry, I gotta watch it. So things being finished, so things coming to fruition, coming to their conclusion. But as spiritual beings, we understand that the end is only a new beginning, right? And so when we talk about this year being the also the year of the serpent, the year of the wood serpent, right? The snake, right? The snake, the ancients looked at the serpent as a creature of that represented wisdom, that represented healing, that represented health. You see what I'm saying? And so it's just a different way to look at it. And they looked at it that way because the snake has the ability to regenerate, the ability to shed its skin. And so some of the things that you may be experiencing in your own life is looking at things and making decisions about how to move forward in certain aspects of your life. So looking at these conclusions of certain things, these conclusions of aspects of yourself, quite frankly. So many of us are shedding parts of ourself, shedding aspects of who we used to be in order to walk into who it is that authentically we are, right? Because in this age of Aquarius, we're talking about really walking and stepping in your power. Because the energy of Aquarius is, if I'm not mistaken, Aquarius is actually ruled by the planet Uranus or Uranus, right? So Aquarius is an energy of revolution. That's this revolutionary energy. This I don't give a fuck what you think about me sort of energy. You know what I mean? That's what it is. And so when you combine that with its sister sign, which is Leo, so now we're talking about that revolutionary energy and the royal energy, right? That royal, self assured, self confident, that bold, ferocious energy, all of this culminating. So we're talking absolute power. We're talking divine level power, force, energy. And so what's happening is we're shedding all the levels and layers of the falsehoods, right? Of that false sense of security, that false sense of power, that false sense of leadership. The false is being shed, right? So the authentic and the real can step forward. Do you see what I'm saying? So you'll see a lot of that in relationships. So those things that, for example, you're seeing that play out on a large scale when it comes to what we're witnessing in terms of, the external reality, right? So we're witnessing that in politics and everything else, right? You saw that with the halftime Super Bowl show, right? You saw all of these things. We are shedding the false, shedding that which has been hiding behind, right? Whatever it may be, to actually expose what is, to be able to shed those falsehoods. So it's important during this time to really look at all of the ways in your life that you may have been you may have been inauthentic to yourself, where you may have been untrue to your authentic self, to your highest, most elevated self, right? And so I'm sorry, y'all. He's a dog. Oreo, come, poops, come. I don't even know what he's barking at. But anyway, but yeah, so shedding that so that you can truly walk into your authenticity. Now, let me tell you about the power that is coming through right now. So tomorrow is a full moon in Leo. Now, you just heard me talk about we're in this Aquarian age, right? The sun is in Aquarius. We're what today is February 11th. Shout out to all the Aquarians that are celebrating their solar returns right now. Shout out to y'all. You are amazing. You're weirdos. We love you. So tomorrow is a full moon in Leo, right? And shout out to all the Leos. Thank y'all for holding it down. Thank us for holding it down, right? I know. I can't help it. I'm, Leo sun sign. Anyway, So it's all of this powerful energy that is coming forth. So you may be finding yourself having to facing situations where you have to stand up for yourself, where you may have to speak up for yourself or someone else. What this is what this whole thing standing on business, right? You may find yourself in situations where you're having to stand on business because as the full moon, the energy of the full moon culminates in her fullness tomorrow, we're talking about that subconscious mind, the subconscious realm within yourself, right? So it's a perfect time for you to be able to look at all of those shadow aspects, right? The moon represents what's unseen. So those unseen things within you that need to be shed in order to walk into your divine royal power, your authentic royal power. That's what we're doing right now. So, how this relates with the third eye is because the third eye is that seat that brings together, and let me, it's better to describe it this way. So, we talk about the serpent, right? Or the snake. So, when we're talking about the chakras, we're talking about these energy centers. Child, my mama will be calling me at the most interesting times. So we're talking about the I'll call you back, mama. So we're talking about these energy centers in your body, beginning all the way down from your feet, right? But most people know the seven chakras, which is why we're journeying through the seven chakras, right? But there are more. So if we start at the base, right? This is where we talk about where this energy kind of coils, like a as the serpent kind of just coils at the base of your spine until it is awakened, right? And now here's the beautiful thing about this, right? So Leo actually governs the spine and the heart. And so if you ever hear someone say, they tuck tail and run, right? Or they tuck tail and ran, or people tucking their tail. So that's what it's referring to, this energy where when you are placed in fear, right? All of that powerful energy that is at the base of your spine that gives you that fight or flight, all of that, it retracts in and of itself. It retracts and goes back into your spine and it creates a blockage. You understand what I'm saying? Because the energy is made to flow. It's made to flow up your spine, up and down your spine. It's made to flow. But what happens is when you are in a situation where you are in fear, okay, where you may feel that there is that you are dealing with an inferiority complex, where you are feeling less than, right, less than your divine royal self, right, less than that confident, courageous, that too, confident, creative, and confident, creative, and courageous all at the same time, right? So courageous, that's a new word. Write that down. So with your courageous self, right? If you're in a situation where that has been robbed of you, so to speak, right? That energy coalesces. And when that happens, it forms blockages at the base of the spine. And then this creates what can look like and feel like back pain, right? Back pain. And I've been there, which is why I'm having this conversation with y'all, because I've been there, right? So the whole goal of unlocking your chakras and unblocking your chakras is to release that energy, so that, or to get that energy flowing again, to relieve yourself of those blockages, so that as you are unlocking your chakras at each level, what is happening is it is in fact bringing up those things that created the blockage for the purpose of healing, right? So that you can continue to evolve into your higher self, the higher aspect of the self, okay? So as we're going up the spine, what's happening is that energy within you, that masculine and feminine energy, that doing and being energy, It's flowing, it's flowing, it's flowing, it's flowing, right? And as it's doing that, we get to the ajna, to the brow. And this is where the serpents intertwine and they form the all seeing eye, both masculine and feminine, right? Because when, let me not get ahead of myself, but it forms this all seeing eye to be able to see with clarity. Okay. Now, you will see this in society because, for example, it's called the caduceus, or the staff of Eclepsius. I think that's how you pronounce it. But or the staff of Hermes also. So you may look at it historically in a number of ways. But what has happened is these two intertwining serpents up the staff, which is your spine, right? Rising up into the Christed consciousness, right? So that's a whole nother story. But the point being is that when you look at, for example, the medical symbol or the symbol on like an ambulance or whatever, you will see a staff with a serpent wrapped around it, right? Even with the dollar sign, right? That you'll see a staff with an S, right? That's it's the same energy, right? And so all of these things that I'm telling you, there are people that have known this for quite some time, right? um and this is why it's important for you to know it, so that you can take back your own power and walk in your own power. You see what I'm saying? And when you see these things, out in society, you'll know what it is that you're looking at. So this is in part why that serpent energy was seen for healing. You understand? And so that very symbol was then taken and usurped it and used in other contexts. But it is about regeneration and shedding your skin and all of these things, right? So now, okay, so let me just make sure. I want to make sure that I cover everything. Yes. So the ajna, right? Once you unlock this ability to see, it helps you to see. Okay. So if you are having issues with the two eyes, with your physical eyesight, you may also more than likely be having issues with your third eye. Now, one of the things that I talked about last year that is going to be important this year, you will see things coming out more about fluoride in the water, because studies have shown for quite some time that fluoride is one of those things that actually acts to calcify the pineal gland. Okay. And once that happens, it distorts your perception of reality, it distorts your perception of things. Okay. And so you want to be able to do to do things in order to decalcify your pineal, but at the same time to make sure that you are healing any blockages that you may have had. So because once you see, it does change, and because it gives you the ability to see, it can cause some people to go into a form of cognitive dissonance. Because what happens is, now when you're able to see, you may see that some of the things, or if not all of the things that you have believed, are just simply not true, right? And this is what I'm saying. So this concept of this, when there are blockages in the pineal gland, you're not able to see reality for what it actually is. You're not able to see clearly. And so you may have you ever like talked to someone and you're talking to them and telling them things, and they just don't get it at all. They do not have the ability to actually receive what you are saying, and they look at you like you have five heads, right? That's what I'm talking about. There are many people that they're spiritually blind, right? And that's just true. They're spiritually blind for whatever reason. So anyway, I won't go into it, but you know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So some of the things that will be helpful in doing this is using a tuning fork, right? Bringing it back into balance, being able to be silent, right? That's one of the things that's really been helping me lately is not speaking as much and sitting in silence so that I can actually hear my inner voice, right? Because your inner voice is that feminine energy. The feminine energy is subconscious, it's unseen, it's the unseen realm, the spirit realm, right? So you want to be able to sit with your spirit, to allow your spirit to guide you so that you can see clearly. You understand what I'm saying? Because when people speak to us, they are communicating they're communicating something using their words. And I like to refer to this concept of speaking and writing as language arts, because it is truly an art form, right? And so when people are speaking, they are painting words and images in your mind, right? So when I speak, I do so with the goal that you see what I'm saying. I want you to see what I'm saying, right? This is a part of communication. But there are people who, with this ability, of course, who can then, use it in ways that are not beneficial to you, as you can probably imagine, right? So you want to make sure that your third eye is active and open, that you are able to see clearly. You understand what I'm saying? To see manipulation, to see trickery, to see whatever it is that you need to see out here in these streets. You understand what I'm saying? So, one of the things that happens is that when you unlock your third eye chakra, it helps you to tap into these spiritual gifts that you have, such as um, oh, that's my dehydrator going off. I'll tell y'all about that another day. About what I'm dehydrating and why. Always got something cooking, y'all. Always got something cooking. I'll tell y'all about it. But it unlocks your clairvoyance, which is the ability to see clearly. Okay. So, like I said, as you are healing and unlocking all of these chakra levels, it unlocks different gifts within you and you'll find yourself activated. So, one of the things that I offer is, coaching to folks who are new to this journey, who are unlocking their gifts, unlocking their abilities, and want to learn how to harness these skills so that they can truly tap into their power and really use their power. Use their power to really create your own reality. Okay. Um, oh, also remember, your reality is actually being projected from the internal world externally. I'll say that again. Your external reality is being created from what is unseen. What is unseen is being birthed into the reality. In the beginning was the word. Actually, in the beginning was like tones, vibrations, all that stuff. But then came the word. Okay. That word has the ability to bind or to bond you. You see what I'm saying? So what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to, like I said, to sit in silence so that you can actually hear yourself, hear your higher self, hear the divine within you speaking and leading you and guiding you, so that you will actually be able to see with wisdom and clarity. Now, speaking of wisdom and clarity and things that you can help to balance your third eye chakra, go to the Conscious Creations website, pick up our chakra balancing oil that is called I See with Wisdom and Clarity. So this chakra oil, all of our chakra oils were made a couple of years ago, but they were all made, as all of our products are, with the intention and purpose for which is written on the bottle, that you see with wisdom and with clarity. So there's certain oils that we talk about, certain oils, herbs, and ingredients that the way that they work on the body is that they trigger certain things and they open up certain senses within your body because you have five senses. Okay. So part of that is your sense of smell and your sense of touch. Okay. So this works well because you can use both your sense of touch because you're putting the droplets of oil on your hands or having someone else do it for you. You are smelling those different scents that are going into your nostrils, opening up the olfactory senses in your body, and those senses are responding to the sense. You see what I'm saying? And so you'll begin to see more clearly because the whole purpose of it is to open you up to be able to see. And so whenever you use any of our products, because all of the names of the products are generally they're affirmations. And so if you speak with intention and purpose that when you use this oil that you see with wisdom and clarity and you set that intention when you use it, you will indeed see with intention, with wisdom and clarity, because that was the purpose for which it was created. Okay. Now, the other thing is, and this is the part I'm going to read a little bit because I'm still, digging into this. But the pineal gland is actually one is shaped like a pine cone. So actually meditating on a pine cone, believe it or not, will actually help you. So if you have like an altar or something set up in your house, you may want to add a pine cone if you want to work on your pineal gland. Add a pine cone to that. Meditate on a pine cone. Go outside, make friends with a pine tree. All of these things will help to open up your pineal gland or to balance that pineal gland so that you are able to see, clearly and things like that. So the pineal gland is associated with the pituitary gland, which is also a part of the endocrine system that we talked about before, right? So the endocrine system deals with hormones like the thyroid hormone, sex hormones, growth hormones, all of these things. All of that is also associated with the pineal gland. Um, yeah, yeah. See, absolutely. See, you already on it. You already on it. So, for those of you who are on, who are not actually seeing the live stream, Angie says that she's been grabbing a few of the pine cones. So, absolutely, y'all, make sure that these, because the thing is, the spirit is going to speak to you. And so you're being prepared all the time by the divine for what is or what is coming. You see what I'm saying? So by being in tune with a channel like this, right? And products like the ones that I make, you will be in tune with the energy because that's what, you know what I mean? Like that's the energy that's put into it. So the whole goal is for you to, again, to see with wisdom and clarity and all of these other things. So absolutely. So this is a part that I'm always grateful for because I'm grateful for community and for family and for tribe because it just reminds me of how interconnected we all are, right? So I'm sure that as I'm speaking about these things, many people are connecting with this very same energy because you feel it, right? It's something to be felt and you feel it. It's like truth, right? Truth doesn't need proof. You feel it. You feel when something is true. You feel it in your soul if you have a soul, right? You feel it in your soul. There's something that just speaks to you. You get what I'm saying? So now the pituitary gland. Now, this also deals with the muscles and the kidneys. The pituitary gland is actually called the master gland because, and I'm going to read this verbatim, it directs the endocrine glands, adrenals, thyroid, and sex glands. So again, we're not just talking some like woo-woo principles and things like that. This is factual, right? So yes, we are talking about a third eye that you have in the center of your forehead, so to speak, right? But at the same time, we're also talking about your pituitary gland and all of the other things that are impacted by this, right? So now what happens, and this is where I talked about the products that contain endocrine disruptors. So y'all know, you've heard me since I started Conscious Creations 5 years ago. I've been talking to you all about endocrine disruptors. So there are particular products that disrupts the endocrine, that disrupt the endocrine system, the endocrine gland. So now we're talking about the sex hormones, right? We're talking about growth hormones. So now when you see, children developing at different rates, right? Premature children, right? When you're seeing women not able to have natural births and having all these complications, all these things that you're seeing, it goes back to someplace. It's from a place, right? And it's largely in part, I believe, because a lot of the things that traditionally we put on our skin have these endocrine disruptors in them. This is why I'm, in part, while I started Conscious Creations, because once I started to learn more about that, I started looking for ways to counterbalance that. Do you see what I'm saying? So even if there is something, like, for example, there may be something that I have to put inside of a product for whatever reason, trust and believe that if I have to use that, it's going to be counterbalanced, right? And so make sure that whatever you are putting on your skin is actually good for your skin. So most of I like to use things that you can actually eat, right? Because why would generally, I wouldn't want anything on my skin that I couldn't eat. But also, we also use laundry detergent. We're not eating Tide Pods. Don't eat Tide Pods or any kind of laundry detergent, right? So there's levels to it, right? So I'm not saying that you're gonna just eat everything that you put on your skin, because I did see an ad like that, and I was like, that's a little disingenuous. But anyway, point being, most of the things you should be able to consume because your skin is absorbing it, right? Your bloodstream is absorbing it. You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that it's something that's actually either been neutralized or not harmful to you. Let me give you an example of that. So one of the things that I am exploring, because I make soaps right now, but I'm exploring making soap with lye. Let me tell you why. Because lye seems to be what is used to make soap. I mean, it is what it is. My concern with using lye was the caustic nature of it, right? Because it's lye, right? This is why when we talk about like perms and all that kind of stuff, same thing. But what happens is the ingredients that you add to what's called the saponification, that's the process for making soap, right? The saponification process neutralizes the caustic nature of the lye itself. You see what I'm saying? So there are levels to this, right? But generally speaking, you want to make sure that if you're lathering this stuff all over your body, you know, use the butters, use the oils, you know what I mean? Use those things. Go to my website, consciouscreations.live. But super facts, y'all. Because you want to make sure that all, that your energy is not inhibited or inhibited in any sort of way, so that you can truly walk in your best and highest self. And that you're not having all these crazy issues that come from your endocrine system being disrupted or your nervous system being disrupted. Okay. So, last but not least, there is apparently there's a stalk-like structure that connects the hypothalamus of the brain and the pituitary. The hypothalamus, y'all, controls body temperature, hunger, aspects of parenting, because it deals with attachment, um, thirst, sleep, circadian cycles. So that's the circadian rhythm for sleeping, and aging. Okay. Now, when you have imbalances in the endocrine system, it can look like mental confusion, acute sinusitis, because remember, we're dealing with we're dealing with this part, of your head, your brain, all that kind of stuff, and insomnia. Okay. So if you are dealing with any of those things, you may want to start doing some work on your throat chakra, on your third eye, and also the crown. Okay. You want to make sure that those things, that all of you, that you're in balance, period. But you may want to look at particularly the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So I want to actually just open it up for any kind of questions, comments, whatever. If y'all have seen, if you have found yourself dealing with anything like mental confusion, headaches, that's another thing that, and we'll talk about that when we talk next week about the crown chakra, because one of the ways that that your energy has been infiltrated is by attacking things with, attacking your vibration with, things like music and the food, all this kind of stuff that y'all already know. But if you don't, this is why you want to make these particular changes to your lifestyle so that you can see a difference. But I definitely want to hear, how y'all are seeing things, and how these have you seen this different energy play out for you? I say I do my dance when. Okay. Well, and that's fine, right? So, but if there's anything you want to, leave it in the comments, right? So that we can continue the conversation in the comments, that other people can join in and, give their thoughts. Because I definitely want to hear, one, how are y'all feeling with all this energy? I can tell you, with just over the last couple of days, um, the energy has felt very, like I said, very dense, very heavy. So I found myself having to dance more. That helps me, being able to move the energy, move my body, right? That's helped. Cutting down on my coffee intake has helped. Actually, one of the things, and I know everything be sounding like a plug, I've created so many different things over time that are available on the website. They just, it comes up, right? So there is, I don't know if it's still on my website. Let me think about that. But either way, it is, I call it the composer, because I am composing my own symphony here. And it's made with cacao, lion's mane, reishi mushrooms, and cordyceps. And I add some honey because it's not naturally sweet. So I add some honey for a little sweetness, because we like the sweetness. Um, and yeah, and so it tastes like a hot chocolate. This one's gotten kind of cold, so it's not really a hot chocolate anymore. Yeah, it's not hot chocolate, but I am, so there's that. So yeah, so that's something that's really been helping me. Um, let me see what else. Creating. So the energy, you may also be feeling very creative, very frisky, right? Very creative, very frisky. So make sure that you are minding your energy in that. Express yourself creatively, right? This energy is really about tapping into that child, that inner child. So you may be finding yourself nostalgic about things that you used to do, you know, as a child, So tap into that, explore that, walk in that, go play, right? So right now, like where I am, it started snowing today, and it's a lot of snow outside. And I'm gonna tell y'all, or that's why I was telling you that I needed to postpone this from 8 o'clock, because Oreo wanted to go outside and he likes to eat the snow. He likes to lay in the snow. He likes to play in the snow. So all of these are sorts of things that may come up for you. Tomorrow, funny enough, is a snow moon. So, it's a powerful time, y'all. Very, very powerful. So yeah, so if whatever it is that you may find yourself being attracted to in terms of something that is going to elevate your joy. Now is the time to do that. Whatever brings you joy, walk in that, own that, exist in that, walk in your power, create powerfully. And again, whatever tools that you need, you can go to my website at www.consciouscreations.live. pick that up. We definitely have the herbs, the oils, whatever you need available on the website. And let me just say, y'all, I am just so grateful. I am so grateful for all of the beings, all of you beautiful souls who have joined me along the way, along this creative journey, right? Because it's big, y'all. We doing big things, big things. And the because let me say this, like when I because and I want y'all to really see this vision with me, because we're creating consciously. So one of the things that I happen to be gifted at is gifted as a lawyer, right? So I also I also have a legal practice, and where I'm located. And so I help clients with various legal matters. And one of the things that I've been doing for the last 12 years or so is helping people with family law issues. So, like divorce, custody, child support, baby daddy, baby mama, drama, you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. Now, I've done other things and I do other things as well, but that's one of the things that I've done. And there are many reasons that I started Conscious Creations, but along the way, one of the things that I started to really see is the ways that many of us who have had and experienced unhealthy relationship patterns, the way we have internalized that, and the way that we express ourselves, and the way that we relate and attach to other folks in relationship as a result of some of the brokenness, or broke some of the brokenness that we may have experienced, or some of the patterns that we may have learned. Okay. And so this is in part one of the reasons that I do some of the things that I do with Conscious Creations, and also with the coaching services that I do, because it, the solution in most of these situations is not going to court, filing a bunch, paying a lawyer a bunch of money to file documents and go to court and have somebody else make a decision for you about your life and your children and your family. Most of the time, it is dealing with things that you need to address within yourself, right? That your partner may need to address within themselves, but that most of the time people don't actually have the tools, right? And the emotional currency to be able to, or so they think, right? But most people don't see that they have the emotional currency to be able to do those things, right? And so this is in part why I have these conversations, because it's so much bigger than body butter. It's bigger than body butter. It's bigger than massage oil. But those are just like money, a hammer, a computer. They're all tools. They're all tools to help you on your journey to get to wherever it is that you're trying to go, right? And so my goal with Conscious Creations is truly that Conscious Creations becomes a household brand, because I look at it as a lifestyle being branded. Because I look back now and I think that, you know, what if there was a Conscious Creations? What if I knew what I knew now? What if I knew then what I knew now? What I know now, right? Now, I understand that part of that is just the journey in and of itself, right? But when we talk about preparing our children and preparing their children, preparing the next generation, preparing those that we love to be able to walk in their lives unencumbered, you know what I mean? Like without those restrictions that we may have had on ourselves, that we may have placed on ourselves because we were simply unaware of ourselves. So, what a powerful gift it is to be able to give that to the next generation. And that's one of the things, just one of the things that I see for conscious creations. And so I am grateful for each and every one of you who've shown up time and time again, who've ordered things, who've listened to me and, joined me as I've created different products and, all of these things. You've been there. And all of you who will join along the way, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you. Please know that. And I thank you so much. I thank you for taking the time, taking the opportunity to invest in yourself, because we are 50 minutes in. And so if you have been here for 50 minutes, listen, let me tell you something. You guys, beautiful things, nothing but beautiful things for you, because you're a real one. And I thank you so much for being. Next week, y'all, crown chakra. So get your color purple ready, because the crown deals with the color purple. So perfect time as we're talking about this Leo full moon. So next week, we're going to be talking about walking in that royal power, y'all. But anyway, I love y'all. And so I can keep going, but I will stop. So, all right. So until next time, y'all, love yourself well. You deserve it.